Hi everyone, we are Team Trailblazers, the pioneers of Neuroflow. And on the team we have Godfrey Tinkwang, Anthony Sa, Robert Quay, Gerald Inkweji, and myself, Stephen Jan Bimpong. So the key challenges that we identified in the problem at the neurological department of Korle Bu Teaching Hospital were that there were extended wait times and long queues. They were overbooking beyond capacity, overcrowding and tension in clinic environment, inadequate prioritization of vulnerable patients, insufficient tracking and follow-up management, and limited administrative oversight. So what Neuroflow seeks to solve is that we are bringing a queuing management system that streamlines patient flow through intelligence triaging and real-time queue management. One fascinating feature about this system is its AI-powered intelligence. It has conditional severity analysis that checks who should be attended to first. It has predictive scheduling, historical pattern recognition, and a smart overflow handling. So these are the technologies that we use in building Neuroflow. We use Next.js for the front end, Node.js for the back end, Python for developing the API, Postgres for our database, Tailwind CSS for styling, and TypeScript. Okay, so when you come onto the platform for the first time as a patient, this is the patient overview. When you come onto the platform first time as a patient, you need to create an account to be able to access your dashboard. If you go forward and tap on accessing your dashboard, it's going to take you to the account creation, and then you create an account and you access the dashboard with your personal information where you can book appointments.
So a patient will first of all hit this landing page with Neuroflow and a simple navigation. So a new patient will have to get started. Okay. So getting started, they will enter their details as I said. So let's go. Okay, good. So now let me intentionally add a 4 to test if it's working. Let's sign up. So we get a password do not match, which means our validations are all working. Let's sign up. Good. So we have been signed up, after which, as I said, we have to verify our details. So we can see just now, our OPD was 376185. Good. So our SMS was 376185, as we can see from, as we saw here. Yeah, 376185. So let's verify. Both accounts, both good. Now let's log in. Okay. So we are being logged in. All right, good. We are in. So as I said, the patient can get to see their details, their full name, their email, their phone number, and then their date of birth. Okay, now good. Currently, there are no activities done. So we have 0 appointments, 0 pending, 0 approved, and then 0 cancelled. So now let's head on to book appointment. So a patient can book the appointment. So we have the book new appointments. So now the patient have the options to choose. Are they a discharge patient 2 weeks or 1 week? Let's say 2 weeks. Or is your description? Let's say migraine. Great. We have the notification to start telling them appointments created successfully. So scheduling will be processed on Wednesday. Good. So now here the patient can see a little overview of the appointment. And now, so this means the patient have from Friday all to the way Wednesday before 12 p.m. midday, 12 p.m. midday to book the appointment. So if after booking they realize they will not be able to make it for that appointment, they have the option to cancel. Yes. So appointment has been cancelled. But later on, the patient realized, oh, I have to go back to do my vital. So I need to book an appointment. They can come back again and click on book an appointment and then choose their discharge type. And then maybe let's say now maybe it's a severe headache they were having, headache. Now they can create appointments. So once appointments are created, you can create another one, as we can see from the screen. Let's say test. It says a pending appointment already exists. So unless their pending appointments are approved, so voila, this patient has been able to successfully verify the account, log in, and then book an appointment. So now we can decide. Okay, great. So here I'll take you through how our triage is being processed. So currently all appointment has been gathered, okay, for the week. So let's say on Wednesday 11:59 p.m. to the 12 p.m. appointments cannot be recorded. Okay, so patients cannot process appointments again because the batch scheduling has started. So once our batch scheduling has started, this is how the process will be. So we are manually triggering this via a test endpoint because we can't wait until Wednesday to have this in real time. Okay, so now so far we had 8 appointments which were locally created. Okay, so now it was successfully sent to our AI for the processing. So 8 appointments were received. It went through. Now our database is being updated, and now their queue numbers are assigned in order of which the triage API came. So you have at position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4, 5, 6 here in that order. And then initiating their notification. So now preparing to send their notification. So we have a patient like Abigail, your request has been approved. And then we also have their details of their SMS. For those who chose email, to email also be sent. So he has the ticket for the next day on Thursday to book the appointment. So now let's move straight into how the OPD side will be. Now on the OPD side, it will first of all be like this. So queue currently empty, but the patient's record has been loaded. So currently there are 10 patients so far. Okay, and then here you can have a detailed overview of each individual patient, making things very simple and seamless. So now let's move on to the queue dashboard. So you see, he has loaded the booked appointments patient with status approved. Now with their queue numbers has been loaded into the queue dashboard. So we can see clearly that from the AI triage scheduling, Peter Edu was with a severity score and their priority based on the scheduling by the API, by the AI triage. He was placed number 1, and then this was his details. So currently on the OPD side, Peter Edu will be the first person to be attended to. So if he is not available, then the patient can skip him. So you see, he has been swapped with position 1 and then position 2. So until he is back, then we can bring him back. So, but for instance, if Peter Edu, or let's say now Godfrey Kwan, who is the next in the queue to be attended to, is unavailable. Maybe he wasn't able to make it that day. The patient or that patient, so the OPD can click on unavailable, mark unavailable, and then you can see he's at the bottom of the queue, like on last cry. Yeah. So if he's back, you can just restore him. But before restoring, you can see that the third person has moved into the up next queue, waiting to be in progress. So meaning Peter Edu is being in progress, it's being attended by the doctor. So after which he can be marked as completed. So let's mark him as completed. So mark patient as complete. Yes, mark as completed. So we have a nice UI which makes things very simple. So we have saved patient. Patient's name is patient Edu, and then his gender, and then the time he completed his appointment. Okay, good. So, and now Gofretinka is back. Oh, let's say he went to the U now, so he now back to join the queue. But to avoid confusion, he had a queue number, so the OPD operator can just click on now available and then restore him back as up next, since Abigail Edu is in progress. So once Abigail Edu is also done, he can be marked as complete. Or if she is also not available, the OPD operator can click on mark as unavailable. So now, one amazing thing is marking unavailable does not permanently set the status of the patient as unavailable. If that day the patient do not show up at all, then all patients are saved. Then that status of patient Abigail Ado will be unavailable inside of the database, meaning they'll have to rebook the appointment for the next week. So let's mark Gopetinka as completed and then completed. So the next person moved into the line. Faith Bogolo is now in queue, Abubakari up next, and then Okay, let me bring this here. Up next, and then we have millicent informed, but there are so many. So they can mark all of these patients as completed. And then on the patient record, they can have a nice overview of all the patients. So now one amazing thing is once appointments are marked completed for a patient, then they can come back to their dashboard and then refresh appointment. So once, okay, so my session was out, so I have to log in again. So Godfrey, think crime, password was testing. Oh, sorry. Testing number 3. So once that patient logs in again and then they come, now you can see their status has been changed to completed, like they have been served. So this brings a welfare appointment for Thursdays with no chaos. And then it's very, very seamless for all users. So you can see the appointment in detail by clicking on the view appointment. And now that patients have their appointment completed with their priority and then their status. So thank you so much for your attention. So let's confirm everything worked in our database. So now this is our database. So good, we have the patients. So let's look at the patients table. Okay, so we have the patient table. So let's refresh that again. So good. So these are the patients we have so far. And then their details with their password hashed. Very good. And then the appointments. Let's look at the appointments. So these were the appointments that were created. Okay. So now this has now because that user canceled that appointment. So before the AI-powered triage process appointment for scheduling, it considers the status of an appointment which has a pending. So if you cancelled, meaning you need not to be assigned a priority for a queue. So now we have all patients as approved. And then we have the completed ones, as you can see. We have the completed ones. Let's look at that. Okay, yeah, we have that patient as completed. And also another patient as completed. Wow. And then let's also look at our queue. Okay, good. So this was our queue. We can see 2 people have been completed so far, and then the time they were completed. And then these are still in the queue, but their status initially was approved. So they are still in the queue waiting to be stepped. So wow, this brings us to the end of our demo presentation. I hope you guys all enjoyed it.